One of the biggest stories leading up to Super Bowl week doesn't involve a player preparing for the championship game but rather one of the NFL's most dominant defenders wanting out of Cleveland. Myles Garrett, the Browns' franchise defensive end and reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year, has officially requested a trade, citing doubts about the team's ability to contend for a Super Bowl in the near future. This decision marks a major turning point for both Garrett and the Browns. Since being selected as the #1 overall pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, Garrett has established himself as one of the league's premier pass rushers, becoming Cleveland's all-time leader in sacks. However, despite his individual success, the Browns have struggled to build a consistently competitive team around him, making only 2 playoff appearances during his 10. Cleveland's struggles, particularly in the wake of the controversial and costly Deshaun Watson trade, have been a key factor in Garrett's discontent. The Browns gave up multiple first-round picks to acquire Watson, who has failed to live up to expectations due to injuries and inconsistent performances. This move has left the franchise with limited resources to strengthen other areas of the roster, including the defense. Following a disappointing 3-14 season, Garrett has seemingly lost faith in the Browns' ability to build a Super Bowl-caliber team. His trade request signals a desire to join a franchise with a legitimate chance to compete for a championship. However, given his elite status, any trade for Garrett will likely require multiple first-round picks or a package of high-value assets. If Cleveland grants Garrett's request, several teams could emerge as potential landing spots. While many franchises would love to acquire a game-changing talent like Garrett, his preference to compete for a Super Bowl narrows the list to legitimate contenders. Here are 5 of the most intriguing destinations. The Detroit Lions are coming off a stellar 15-win season, and their roster is built to contend for a Super Bowl. While their offense has been explosive, one of the few remaining holes on their team is consistent quarterback pressure. Pairing Myles Garrett with Aiden Hutchinson would create one of the most formidable defensive duos in the NFL. The Lions have shown a willingness to be aggressive in acquiring defensive talent, as evidenced by their mid-season trade for Zadarius Smith. If Detroit wants to solidify its Super Bowl chances, going all in on Garrett could be the missing piece. The Dallas Cowboys are always in the mix when a superstar player becomes available, but this connection makes a lot of sense beyond just the hype. Dallas' new defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, thrives on high-energy, turnover-heavy defenses, making Garrett an ideal fit. Imagine Garrett lining up alongside Micah Parsons, arguably the only other edge rusher in the league on his level. The combination would be terrifying for opposing quarterbacks and could push the Cowboys' defense into elite territory. The biggest challenge for Dallas would be working around their salary cap constraints, as they still need to sign Parsons to a long-term deal. Buffalo has consistently been one of the AFC's top teams in recent years, but they've struggled to get past the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. One of their biggest weaknesses has been generating consistent pressure on elite quarterbacks. Garrett would be the perfect solution, instantly elevating the Bills' pass rush and giving them a defensive weapon that could shift the balance of power in the AFC. While Buffalo is currently over the salary cap, teams with